inverse Z transforms. Next problem. Find inverse Z transform of x of z is equal to z square plus z into e to the power minus 3t minus 2 into z e to the power minus 2t divided by z square minus e to the power minus 2t plus e to the power minus 3t into z plus e to the power minus 5t. ROC is mod z greater than e power minus 2t. ROC is mod z greater than e power minus 2t. Solution. We can write x of z as z into z plus e to the power minus 3t minus 2 into e power minus 2t divided by denominator we can write as z minus e to the power minus 2t into z minus e to the power minus 3t. Step 1. To convert x of z divided by z into partial fractions. To convert x of z by z into partial fractions. So what is x of z by z? X of z by z equals z plus e to the power minus 3t minus 2 into e power minus 2t divided by z minus e power minus 2t into z minus e power minus 3t. This is nothing but k1 divided by z minus e power minus 2t plus k2 divided by z minus e power minus 3t. The constants k1 and k2, can be found as follows. Or I will write the answer. Okay. Where k1 and k2 are found as follows. K1 and K2 are found as follows. Let me do this for you. K1 and K2 are found as follows. So K1 into Z minus e to the power minus 3t plus K2 into e to the power Z minus e to the power minus 2t is equal to Z plus e to the power minus 3t minus 2 into e power minus 2t. So first I will find K1. Put Z is equal to e to the power minus 2t. Then what you get? K1 into e to the power minus 2t minus e to the power minus 3t plus 0. This will become 0 is equal to, what is that? E power minus 2t plus e power minus 3t minus 2 into e power minus 2t. Solving, you get K1 is equal to, minus 1. Second, I put Z is equal to e to the power minus 3t. This will become 0. 0 plus K2 into e to the power minus 3t minus e power minus 2t equals e power minus 3t plus e power minus 3t minus 2 into e power minus 2t. Solving, you get K2 is equal to 2. Now we will substitute the values of K1 and K2 over here. Next step is to find x of n. Second step, to find x of n. Substitute K1, K2 and multiply both sides by z. That gives x of z is equal to, minus 1 into z divided by z minus e to the power minus 2t plus 2 into z divided by z minus e to the power minus 3t. I will draw the poles and the ROC. Then check for whether the poles are interior or exterior. That is the next step in the analysis. Z plane is a complex plane. Z plane is a complex plane having real axis, real Z, imaginary axis, J times imaginary Z. The entire Z plane is assumed to be inside this rectangle, which is of infinite dimension. I'll draw a circle whose radius is e power minus 2t. ROC is region exterior to this circle. What I am hatching is the ROC. ROC is what? ROC is mod z greater than e power minus 2t. These are the poles. This is the pole at z equals e power minus 2t. This pole is at z equals e power minus 3t. Both the poles are interior to the ROC, and hence they will give positive time sequence terms. Let me write it down. Both the poles of x of z are interior to the ROC. And hence will give positive time sequence terms. Again, I wish to pen it down here. A to the power n into u of n has a z transform z by z minus a. This relation I am going to apply to these two quantities. So what I get, x of n equals minus e power minus 2t whole to the power n into u of n plus 2 into e to the power minus 3t whole to the power n into u of n. The answer is minus e to the power minus 2nt into u of n plus 2 times e to the power minus 3nt into u of n. This is the answer. We'll proceed to the next one. Find inverse Z transform of x of z is equal to z to the power minus 1 divided by minus 2 into z power minus 2 minus z to the power minus 1 plus 1. ROC is mod z greater than 1 less than 2. Solution. First remove negative powers of z. Therefore what I do, I multiply numerator by z square, denominator by z square. That gives me what? X of z is equal to z divided by minus 2 minus z plus z square. What I have done? I have multiplied numerator by z square, denominator by z square. Now this I have to factorize. If you factorize this, what you get? If you factorize this, you get z plus 1 into z minus 2. Z plus 1 into z minus 2. First step, to convert x of z by z into partial fractions. To convert x of z by z into partial fractions. Let x of z by z equal to 1 over z plus 1 into z minus 2 equals k1 by z plus 1 plus k2 by z minus 2. This is a fairly simple one. Solving, we get k1 is equal to minus 1 by 3 and k2 is equal to 1 by 3. Second step, to find x of n. Substitute the values of k1 and k2 and multiply both sides by z. That gives us x of z is equal to minus 1 by 3 into z plus 1. I'll write as z minus of minus 1 plus k2 is 1 by 3 into z divided by z minus 2. Z plane is a complex plane having real axis real z, imaginary axis z times imaginary z. The entire z plane is supposed to be inside this rectangle. It is of infinite dimension. Look at the ROC. Draw two concentric circles of radii 1 and 2. Of radii 1 and 2. Of radii 1 and 2. 1 and 2. The ROC is the annular region between these two circles. Annular region between these two concentric circles. This is the ROC. ROC is mod z more than 1 less than 2. Mark the poles. Z plus 1 equal to 0 gives you z equal to minus 1. This is the pole. Z minus 2 equal to 0 gives this pole. This pole is exterior to the ROC and hence will give negative time sequence term. Negative time sequence term means minus a to the power n u of minus n minus 1. This pole is interior to the ROC and hence will give positive time sequence term, which is a to the power n into what? U of n. This is negative time sequence term and this is positive time sequence term. Is only for your inference. So I am going to write now both the poles of x of z. Sorry, I made a mistake. The pole at z equal to 2 is exterior to the ROC. And hence will give a negative time sequence term. Just in the brackets I'll write what that term is. Minus a to the power n u of minus n minus 1 full stop. The pole at z equal to minus 1 is interior to the ROC. And hence will give a positive time sequence term. What is that positive time sequence term? It is nothing but a to the power n into u of n. So what is inverse transformation of this? X of n equals minus 1 by 3 minus 1 to the power n into u of n. To this quantity, I have applied this formula with a equal to minus 1. To this quantity, I will apply this formula. So what we get? Minus 1 by 3 into 2 to the power n into u of minus n minus 1. This is the final answer. I hope the concept of inverse transformation is clear to you people. Go through extra problems that will be given to you in the form of notes. Practice it and do well. Next topic is system function. Next topic is system function. System function. See, the values that are given in the partial fraction analysis, you please verify Most of the time they will be correct. In any case, I might do sometimes mistakes. Please go through, and if any mistakes are there, please report it to me. Don't say after the examination, sir, I did not understand. Any problem that you face have to be understood at any cost. You can call me over phone also and discuss if you wish. System function. System function is a concept applicable only for LTI systems. Just like in control systems, you have studied transfer function. System function has the same role as that of transfer function. Some people call system function as transfer function also. The concept of system function is applicable only for LTI systems. I am going to say for an LTI system, LTI means linear time invariant system. It is defined as the ratio of Z transform of output Y of n to the Z transform of input X of n. That is, H of Z is equal to Y of Z divided by X of Z. H of Z is equal to Y of Z divided by X of Z. Few important points I will mention now. Inverse Z transform of H of Z gives H of n. What is H of n? Impulse response. In other words, H of n and H of Z form transform pairs. Z transform of H of n is H of Z. Inverse Z transformation of H of Z is H of n. Very important. For a system to be causal, H of n equals 0 for n less than 0. This is possible if and only if all the poles of H of Z lie interior to the ROC. Of H of Z. This demands ROC of H of Z must be mod Z greater than magnitude of P max for a system to be causal. Note that magnitude of P max is the magnitude of the largest pole of H of Z. Third important point. For an LTI system to be stable, the ROC of H of Z must contain the unit circle mod Z equal to 1. Frequency response. What is frequency response? The response of the system when the frequency of the input signal is varied is called frequency response. The frequency response of a stable stable NTI system. Very important. Frequency response is a concept applicable only for stable system. The frequency response of a stable NTI system is obtained by letting z equal to e to the power j omega in h of z. That is h of e power j omega is equal to h of z with z replaced by e power j omega. So very important concept I have told in today's class. What is system function? Is the ratio of z transform of the output y of n to z transform of the input x of n. Then I have told that inverse z transformation of h of z gives you impulse response of the system. H of n and h of z form z transform pairs. That means z transform of h of n is h of z. Inverse z transformation of h of z is h of n. For a system to be causal, all the poles of h of z must be interior to the ROC of h of z. For a system to be stable, the ROC of h of z must contain the unit circle mod z equal to 1. The response means output of the system as the frequency of the input signal is varied is called frequency response. It is possible to find the frequency response from the system function by letting the substitution z equals e power j omega. This substitution is allowed only if the system is stable. That means only when the ROC of h of z contains the unit circle, frequency response of an entire system could be evaluated. I do a simple problem. Problem is like this. An NTI system in the brackets I'll write causal as the following difference like differential, we have what here difference equation representation given by y of n minus 1 by 3 y of n minus 1 plus 1 by 8 y of n minus 2 is equal to x of n. Find the system function h of z. A very simple problem asked for 3 marks. Solution of this problem requires the application of time shift property. What is time shift property? Recall x of n minus n naught has a z transform z to the power minus n naught into x of z. This is nothing but time shift property. Applying z transform on both sides of the given difference equation, we get y of n becomes what? Y of z. Z transform of y of n minus 1 is z to the power minus 1 into y of z according to this formula. Z transform of y of n minus 2 is what? Z to the power minus 2 into y of z. Is z transform of x of n is what? X of z. This implies h of z is equal to y of z divided by x of z is equal to 1 over 1 minus 1 by 3 z to the power minus 1 plus 1 by 8 z to the power minus 2, which is same as z square divided by z square minus 1 by 3 into z plus 1 by 8. This is the answer. Thank you. We'll continue in the next class.